Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel. This is your daily Twin Flame check-in. So let's jump right in. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Whenever you're watching this, we are living in exciting times. That's all I'm gonna say right now. So let's start with an oracle message. Today I've got the Spirit Junkie Oracle, the Gabby Bernstein deck. We'll get some affirmation, some positive, enthusiastic messages to get us set up for a positive weekend. Why not? And then we'll proceed with the main read. So, by the way, guys, still looking forward from your feedback from the Love Oracle cards that I started using recently. I will actually use them today as well, being guided to do that. So why not? We'll use them to get messages in love for each of the twin collectives watching. All right, and we have a new episode of Mindfully Awake out today because it's Friday, baby. Today I'm going to be talking about lack mentality and turning it around into happiness and prosperity. So I have touched upon this topic a little bit in other episodes. Now I want to bring it home with a more holistic perspective on how it works together, essentially, right? Your mindset and we have the card in tarot that is about lack mentality. It's 5 of Pentacles. And pretty much every time I mentioned that this isn't just about money, right? And even if you read any kind of classical tarot interpretation literature, you will still find that it's also about loneliness, feeling left out in the cold, right? Or deprived of any other kind of resources. We've also seen the unfairness trend in divine masculine energy lately, right? The whole point of like life is unfair to me, and how much do we have that in our life? So today I'm going to talk about addressing those kind of mindsets, beliefs, however you want to call it, right? For me, for example, it's also near to my heart because there's an active warfare going on in my country, and there's a lot of that as well, both, by the way, in Ukraine and in Russia. And I'm not even gonna make a big speech to defend any of the positions or say that somebody is a bad guy, good guy here, but lack mentality is present on both sides. The whole, like, the unfairness mentality becomes amplified, not even in 5 times, like in 100 times under this kind of circumstance, especially for people who actually live there right now and experience those adversities, losses, catastrophic losses among people, and also even, you know, the household, cities, everything, right? That it gets into, like, it gets on a different level completely, right? So it's very important to see what it's all about and why is it important to turn this around. And I'll give some examples, of course, so you can also do a check for yourself. As always, the diagnostics is the first step, right? So you know what we're talking about, and then you can work with it. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen in like an hour of work, but there are things you can do. Obviously, a variety of methods that you can choose from, but it's very important to make that effort. And it's actually possible to overcome it, whether it actually started with you and specific traumatic events in your life, or you're very aware that it went, you know, your parents have the same kind of perception on life, and the generation before and the generation before, right? Regardless of where it started, there's something you can do to change it. Divine Feminines, speaking of which, your message for today: owning my power inspires others to do the same. I'm not afraid to shine. Yeah, and a lot of times, I like Aaron's Doughty point that sometimes we stay in unhealthy scenarios, in unhealthy mindset and situations because we get some kind of payoff. And sometimes it's mostly because I'm staying here because this is familiar, this is what I know. Sometimes it's because I want to be right, I want to see it through and make sure that I'm actually right. right? But whatever it is, again, it's important to feel empowered, that you are doing what inspires you, and that inspires others as well. I would say for every individual overall on this planet, in the incarnation that they have, the most that they can do is to elevate themselves, their energy, their vibration, to go for what inspires them, to follow their passion. This is like our biggest impact towards the humanity, whether you're a light worker or not. For light workers, obviously, we have little asterisks with like extra gifts and skills that we're supposed to use to provide guidance and healing. But overall, still remains, that statement remains relevant for everyone. Masculines, every cell in my body is conscious and communicates with each positive thought I have. This is connection to your body, so this is a nudge for you to pay attention to your health. If you're having any symptoms, any discomfort, listen to your body over there, right? Like, obviously, again, there's so much information today on the somatic approach. You can actually look it up and see what that means in terms of emotional health, mental health, but also, even if you don't want to do that, cater to that discomfort, right? See what you can do to alleviate it. And ideally, not just for this specific moment, but is there anything you can do to prevent this from happening going forward? Give more strength to your body, more stamina, if you wish. Okay. I guess this means I gotta take this card. Okay. So let's see, I will do the love messages, so I only need 5 of this. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's not the same as 5 of Pentacles, of course, but it's still, it's a little different, but it's still, there is a connection there. I just don't want to make this reading extra long, but there is a connection to like mentality. This is about regret. This is about losses. This is about not accepting the loss, right? Like, when your brain keeps replaying it, and you know, then it can have several scenarios. Like maybe you're thinking, oh, I could have done more. I could have prevented this from happening. Or you could be saying, I can't believe that I've lost this. Like, I've been working on this for like, or invested in this relationship for like 10 years. And it feels like I've lost 10 years now, right? Whatever it is, it's still focusing on the negative and on the loss, right? Not wanting to have a closure, let it go and move on. And I mean, it's fair to give yourself time for that mourning process for a little while, but it shouldn't prevent you from going for new opportunities, especially if and when they already show up. Or, of course, you can be blocking your opportunities with this kind of energy. 7 of Cups, the choice is yours. I mean, yeah, that wasn't about the card, but that was actually also about the card. Thank you. Divine Feminines, your energy, 5 of Wands in reverse, clarified by 9 of Cups, another 5. You see, we are living in a time of change, and I keep talking about this time of transformation in September. And the first step out, the first phase, again, is about acknowledgement, is about acceptance that the current as is state is not what we want, right? So the desire that Divine Feminines have is to not be influenced so much by what others say, do, or want from us, even if it's coming from people who we care about, right? Not being so connected to their opinion, to what they want from us, to the way they see us, right? And it's especially hard if they actually have good thoughts, that they know that we're great, but the picture they have in their mind is still not who we are or who we aspire to be. Right? And it's like, oh, yeah, it's hard to almost like break their heart with it. But it's important to stay in your power regardless. Oh, wow. Oh my God. You can't make this up. 5 of Pentacles. Clarified by 2 of Cups. So yeah, this is the lack mentality. This is feeling lonely and left out in the cold for the masculines. And guess why? Because they're not together with their twin. And they're feeling it deeply right now. They're like, it's like this coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know? If I just maybe didn't say that, or I made the right choice here in the past, that we wouldn't be in this situation. There are also others, this is a collective reading, so there are multiple scenarios. There are others also who say, this is like, who basically don't accept that there's their responsibility there. It's like, well, I don't think I've done anything wrong, or, you know, I did what I did the best thing that I could in those circumstances, something like that. It's more like finding excuses, right? Like, I had to do it that way from where I was, you know, from what I knew, from where I was at that point in time. And I think my feminine would have understood it, right? Like, is it that hard to forgive? But you know, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, right? And for those masculines who are watching, that's the big part, where you show up after a separation, after you know, you bounce off from each other, you know, speaking of magnetism and the opposite energy, right? So you bounced off from each other with your feminine, something happened, some kind of adversity, argument, whatever it was, falling out, right? Doesn't mean that it's forever, but when you come back, the tell sign of the change and whether your feminine will accept you back is going to be whether you've actually changed, and you can show it in your behavior. Show that you've changed, that you've learned, that you want things to be different, not just talking, actually acting on it, right? That's the best way you can cope with this energy. Additional question, 6 of Cups clarified by 8 of Cups. Lots of cups today. Lots of emotion. Well, the additional question is, how do we walk away from past fantasies and live in the present? Especially if we had this dream, especially if we had this together, or it could be with regards to mission and purpose, right? There was some kind of dream that by now I would have been or I would have opened, I would be doing this, but it's not there. Or I would be with this person, right? And this is the life that we would have, and it's not there anymore. So what is the advice here for the feminines? The Emperor clarified by Wheel of Fortune. 2 major arcanas. I love this. So guess what, divine feminines? This is in the hands of the divine. Even the Emperor, to a certain extent, portrays that authority that's above you, that you don't really have that control, but also you don't need to control, you know? It creates a lot of freedom as well, that there is someone here that's taking care of it, regardless of what you believe in, right? Some kind of power. For some, it could actually be somebody in power, like a person of power, depending on what the dream is that didn't come true, right? There's somebody who's making decisions, and it's not you. It's not up to you, right? So continue staying aligned, continue staying high vibe, continue doing your healing work, right? And setting intentions for what is it that you want to bring. Trying to go less into details how and more into what and why, right? And the universe is bringing it to you, especially with this Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God, masculines, another 5 of Cups, Page of Cups clarified by 5 of Cups. I mean, I just can't get away from this 5 energy and the Cups energy. Oh man, yeah. Masculines, definitely it's about closure. It's about mourning the loss or the inability to fulfill the dream in the past and letting it go and getting back into the present, right? Seeing what you have right now in this moment, even if it's not much, right? But this is where you have the power. You can't really change anything for the past. You can't really do something in the future. You're living in the present. This is what you have. This is what you're working with. You know, and emotionally, the more you learn to be centered, to stay afloat no matter what hits you, and the further you go and grow, the more challenging those hits will be, whether we like it or not. And I'm not saying this as a doomsday kind of prediction. I'm just saying that the more we learn and become more resilient, that's the expectation, then we can take on more. and whether we like it or not, it happens, and it's gonna happen. So very much a resilience, education, and empowerment is what the masculines should focus on right now. Okay, let's get messages in love for divine feminines. And for those who are new, just a reminder that this could be with your twin, could be with your soulmate, could be generally messages in love if you're single and looking to be with someone. Just guidance in love, basically, right? Doesn't have to be with your twin. Maybe your twin is not there and you're with someone else. Totally fine. You still may want to have a message for your love life. Not enough, frustrated, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, jealousy. Yeah, I already spoken a lot about this. That's again the 5 of Pentacles energy, so you know. And healthy choices, look at that, making healthy choices in love and life. Self-love, self-care, being happier, right? So you have an option of which way you want to go, how you want to feel. And that will dictate what kind of love life you're going to attract, divine feminines. What do we have for divine masculines? All right, we got the Death and the Dragonfly, both about transformation. The relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. This is about the 5 of Cups and accepting the loss and moving on. And just if you're starting to get triggered because you're like, oh, that's my twin flame, and you just said they're going to be back, they're going to take me back. Okay, yeah, could be. But energetically speaking, that would be new energies and new relationship. So this one is over, essentially. Accept it, move on. And the Dragonfly is finding out things are coming to light, change, heal, adapt, be lighthearted. Yeah, so the more you let go of that old pain, the more light is gonna come up and the more space you're gonna create for something new and beautiful, right? And the more you actually start being curious about finding answers and understanding where you need to learn your lessons, the more you will see the lessons, you will see the steps, you will get that information, right? But it's important that your attitude and where your heart chakra is very important. It's supposed to be open to this, which means that you need to do the healing first. Okay, I hope this was useful for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave it here. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I love you all, and until next time.